ECW, I have only one thing to say about it. The only thing good in ECW right now is the CM Punk Burke feud. I mean, RVD is going to be leaving in August. Sabu is going to be leaving in August. Sandman and Dreamer, they're on borrowed time. Snitsky was actually funnier when he actually had hair. They had Test there. Where's he been? He's MIA. Lashley versus Vince McMahon. Yawn. And dragging Umaga into that. Umaga, Jamal might have been okay back before this gimmick, but right now he's just dull. The only good thing going is the CM Punk Elijah Burke feud, and that's the only light in ECW. Paul Heyman isn't there anymore. Joey Styles can't really be Joey Styles. And I can't say anything else about ECW. You know, it's not even really ECW. It's like a necromanced version of ECW, really. As for TNA, you know what? I'll admit they have flaws now and again. I mean, I didn't see the blindfold match. I heard that it wasn't that great from several sources. I'll take their word for it at Lockdown. You know what? They're a growing promotion. There's going to be some growing pains. There's going to be some problems. One thing that TNA has not been doing that they absolutely have to be doing, pushing the X division more. I know they have Sabin as their champion. I like Sabin. Sabin's a good worker. Wah. But I think it's time to move the belt onto someone else, get some better feuds between the guys that are in the X division, and you know, I like the fact that right now Christopher Daniels, Samoa Joe, and AJ Styles are all up out of the X division because they're showing that X division superstars, X division champions can go with the big guys, especially Samoa Joe, one of the most mobile big men I've ever seen. I hope he gets the title sometime before 2007 comes out. Maybe he'll get it at Slammiversary. If he does, awesome. Uh, and AJ Styles, his heel turn is kind of a little because he still does the spotty wrestling style that he's been good for. But you know what? I've seen him sort of in a tweenerish role in matches against my boy Paul London. Paul London, tweenerish, he works fine. Heel, I'm not so certain about. Christopher Daniels, I'm a huge mark. I love this new turn. I think it's going to go into a feud with Sting, have a good match between him and Sting. Sting put Christopher Daniels over. Maybe we'll see Christopher Daniels in a main event feud sometime in the future. Maybe after Samoa Joe wins the title. I don't know. I hope so, though. The tag division, I'm glad they're getting a lot of tag teams now. Sabin and Shelley as a tag team, they really need to push this point. I mean, I know they've got Team 3D, or the Dudleys, rather. And they've got the Steiner brothers, which that's a bit of a blast from the past. I don't see them winning the belts, to be honest. We've got the Bashams, aka Basham and Damaja. I thought they were actually a pretty good tag team in WWE. I hated the fact that they were disbanded. I'm glad to see them back together. Maybe eventually they'll get the titles. But TNA released a very good tag team in the Naturals. That's not a very good thing. I mean, they don't have the Naturals anymore. They don't have America's Most Wanted. America's Most Wanted, excellent tag team. Sabin and Shelley, they need to do more for. They need to push them into actual tag title contention. Or at the very least, put Shelley in for an X Division title shot sometime soon. Because, again, huge Alex Shelley mark. And Serotonin, I don't know what they're doing with them. They need to be doing more with Serotonin, especially because I'm a I'm a Raven fan. I'll be honest. I'm a Raven fan, but I don't know how many years he's got left in business. I mean, he's fallen back into a managerial role pretty much as it is, and I don't see him lasting very much longer in the career. I think he'll either retire soon or he's not looking too good. I fear if any other wrestling star is going to die before his time soon, as macabre as this sounds, the next person to go maybe Scott Levy. So, because he is really not looking good. And again, I'm a huge mark. I'd hate to see it happen. And I apologize for that very macabre return. Other than that, Jim Cornette, I think he's a very good authority figure. I actually like him better than Dusty Rhodes. I thought Dusty Rhodes didn't have, the mic ability that he used to have back in the day. He was a little repetitive. He was a little bit slow on speech. Uh, but now that they have Jim Cornette as the on-air management persona, if I were a manager, I would look to Jim Cornette, for inspiration. In fact, I do a little e-wrestling online. I run my own e-federation, Twilight Wrestling International, and my character's managerial persona is very much Cornette-ish. It's not McMahonian where the guy's trying to monopolize all the time and insinuating himself into wrestlers' affairs, even though my character is actually also a wrestler in other e-fetting promotions. He's more of a serious, take no crap businessman style along the lines of Jim Cornette. And, the video packages, they're getting better and better and better. Song selections getting better and better and better. I'd like to see Abyss again. I'm actually a huge Abyss fan, which is kind of odd because anyone who knows me knows I'm really more of a fan of the smaller guys, and yet I love Abyss. He's a big man that can move. He's a very good worker. His gimmick is a very good gimmick, even if it is kind of slightly Kane-ish, which, hey, I like Kane too. I like Undertaker. But, what TNA does right, they done really right. What they do well, they need a lot of work on. I'll be fair.